everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to day 9, would you believe, of Vlogtober 2024. Now it's a little bit brighter today, hopefully. So I'm sitting in my conservatory and I thought I'd come on here today and just show you what I hooked up yesterday afternoon. Now I showed you my basket of colourful balls of yarn that I need to use up. So I did have some little jars. I don't think I showed you those, but I will. I made 3 items and I'm going to show you now, just to brighten your day. It's just a bit of fun. So I had a little glass tea light holder and I crocheted up this little cutie here. So if I hold it against the background, if you can see, there are some holes around the middle. That means that when you've got a tea light in there, it's going to shine through. Even more so, if you've got yarn, it tends to shine through anyway, but even more so. So there's just a row there where what I've done is I've chained, then I miss a stitch, then you put I think it was UK treble, and then chain 1, miss a stitch. But if that's a bit confusing, I do have a tutorial of how to make crocheted lanterns, and I use that technique in that tutorial, so I'll pop the link to that below. It's using a larger jar, and a whole section of the middle of the jar is these holes here. So do check that one out if you want to learn that technique. The rest, I literally, as it's a lantern and there's a tea light in here, I tend to crochet over the bottom as well, just so it sort of acts as a coaster. So I've worked in the round out to the size that I wanted. Then to go up, I have a whole row round here. When I work in the back loop, that's not essential, but it makes more of a ridge when you turn to go up. I used my favourite, those UK doubles, to make a stripy pattern, top, bottom. So I say I added the holes, and then you can see I added a scalloped edging. Now this scalloped edging is part of my coaster tutorial. You need to have your circle, the stitch count needs to be divisible by 4, and then this scalloped edging will work on any stitch count as long as it's divisible by 4. So I added that to my coaster tutorial, but it's very simple. You're just putting 4 trebles in one stitch, miss a stitch, then you're putting in just 1 UK double, that's a US single, then you miss a stitch, put in 4 more trebles, so that's US doubles, and you do that all the way around. And you have a lovely scalloped edging. But last night, after I'd made this, I did actually put a tea light in here, and it did look rather lovely. So I'm going to pop a picture just in here now. What a cutie, and very colourful, and it sort of matches my sun gold blanket, sort of. Some of the colours are left over from that pack. Then I truly surpassed myself, and I just went absolutely mad, and I made this fabulous lantern, or maybe vase. Here, this is just, I've just covered a jar, and this was a jar of gravy, I think. So gravy granules. So I like to reuse my jars. I do love a covered jar. Now I didn't actually put anything on the bottom. I think I'm going to use this as a vase. Started with the 4 granny squares. So there's 4 granny squares, because this, I don't think you can really see, it's a slightly square shaped vase. It's a vase now, but it wasn't jar. So I thought I could have something flat on each side. So I joined my 4 granny squares together using UK doubles at each edge, and so that formed sort of a sleeve. So I got my size, then I went around the top with the black and I just added in those UK doubles going around, kept on going around. I did the same at the bottom. Then I sort of measured this little piece here, and I knew that I could just go round and round with those UK doubles. I changed colour each row. I did the same down here, down at the bottom, and then here I needed to shape. So I just decreased when I got to this pumpkin colour here. I decreased each round. Now, if you don't know how to decrease in crochet, you're literally just crocheting 2 stitches together. But what I thought I'd do is at the end of this video, I'll just film myself just decreasing. So the first row I decreased every 6 stitches. So I went round every 6 stitches, I just crocheted 2 together. Then I did every 4. Then the next row I did every 4 again, because if you can see, it decreases, you go in quite rapidly. Then I knew then that this stitch count was okay, and then I just crocheted the same amount around 4, 1, 2, 3 rows, and then that fitted really nice and snugly. Then using the pumpkin, I did the same at the bottom. So this row I decreased every 6, this I decreased every 4, and then I slipped the cosy cover, whatever you'd like to call it, over the jar, and there you have it. Again, what I may do is when it gets dark, I will put a battery tea light in here. Because I haven't covered the bottom, so depending on where you're going to put it, if you're going to put it on a coaster, it doesn't matter. But I think really I will use this as rather a colourful vase. So what do you think? It's rather mad, isn't it? But sometimes I just have that urge to cover something in colour. Then lastly, I did have time. Now I wanted to make a coffee cup cosy. So the coffees that you buy when you're out and about, but I don't have a coffee cup the right size. So what I did do is I covered a porridge pot. So I like these. If I need a quick breakfast, you just add hot boiling water and you get porridge in a pot. So I thought I'd make myself a colourful cosy, and it does fit really nicely. I will show you. So again, I've worked up a cosy using those UK doubles. I've gone up two rows per colour, and then I finished off with this fabulous bobble design. So again, I do have a tutorial for a bobble stitch. What you have to remember with the bobble stitch is the bobbles are done on the reverse. So when you're crocheting, when you're crocheting, the bobble will push out away from you. So I have the right side facing me. So when I wanted to add my bobbles, I literally chained one up, turned my work, went back around the other way bobbling, then I chained one up, then I turned my work, and then I did one more row of UK doubles just to bring the bobbles in nice and tight. But you can see, bear with me, that this fits my porridge pot nicely. Now, if you had your porridge, you could wash that out, and then that would make a nice pen pot, a nice colourful present for maybe a child's bedroom. But I did think that coffee cozies do make nice gifts. You can hook these up, and then maybe you could add a voucher for a cup of coffee to someone's favourite coffee shop. Now, how you make these to start with, now I get asked how to make these. The trouble is everybody's coffee cup seems to be a different size. So all I did, my starting chain, literally, I just chained until I could fit around the bottom of this. So you do the same with a coffee cup cozy, maybe start about here on a coffee cup, and then you do a chain so you're happy here. And then I just put in those double crochets for, say, a third of the way up, because you can see that this doesn't really increase that much. Can you see that? It doesn't really increase out that much. So as I got out to about here, I increased about 4 times round, spacing the increases out. To increase, you're literally going to put 2 stitches in 1 stitch, and then that increases the stitch count. I went up, say, another third. I did the same. I think I increased another 4 times all the way around. And then I went up, and just before I bobbled, I increased another 4 times all the way around. But it is literally with sleeves, it's just increase, then try on. If you're happy, carry on for a bit, and then you just keep trying it on. So there's no other real way to do it. It's just trial and error. I hope that makes sense. But you're just going to keep trying them on until you get to the size that you want. But for a coffee cup cozy, wouldn't these make lovely Christmas gifts? As I say, with maybe a voucher, gift card for a coffee shop, or you get those sachets of coffee, put some sachets of coffee in there. So what do you think? My colourful trio. So this is the sort of thing that I hook up when I'm feeling a little bit grey, a little bit down maybe. I just want to add some colour to something. So what do you do? Leave me some comments down below. Do you crochet colourful washcloths? I have done that. Colourful mandalas. Maybe you make some nice brooches. Anything like that. Something little to give you just a nice colour fix. Now, while I'm here today, I have received some Halloween napkins. Now, you know that I'm looking for something to decoupage my pumpkin with. Now, I did see these on Amazon and I bought them. They arrived today. So I think what I'm going to do over the next couple of days is paint my pumpkin black. I've got some black paint. And then I'm going to have a little go at covering him with these pumpkins and ghosts. They weren't very expensive. I can pop a link to these down below, but they do have quite a range on Amazon, as you can imagine. But that's it for me today. Just a little fun, colourful vlog for you. So I do hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you here again tomorrow. Bye-bye. So if I want to decrease over the next 2 stitches, what I'm going to do is start my stitch in the first stitch. So that's pull through. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm not going to pull my yarn through. What I'm going to do is put my hook through the next stitch. Then I'm going to pull through. So I've got 3 loops. Then I'm going to pull through all 3 loops, and I have decreased. So let's do another one. I'm just going to go along, and then we're going to decrease over these 2 stitches. So we're going to crochet them together. So we just start the stitch in the first one. So we have 2 loops. Then we're going to put our hook through the second one. So we have 3 loops. Sorry, that noise was my automatic air freshener. The sun has set it off. Okay, so we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to grab that yarn, pull through all 3. So we have decreased again.